I think the refs had a lot to do with that. It was a build-up for a couple of years now of them just not protecting, the star player of the WNBA. And so at the end of the day, I'm going to protect my teammates. That's what I do. And I'm a team player, so it's all good.
All right, enough is enough. At some point, the line gets crossed too often where something needs to be done and things need to be corrected. And that is certainly the case with the way things around Caitlin Clark are officiated. This is a constant problem now. It is something that since the beginning, I've kind of backed off on because physical play is a part of sports. Going after a superstar and trying to rough them up a little bit to get in their head is a part of sports. But when it crosses the line, the referees need to do their jobs. They need to do their jobs, blow the whistle, and officiate properly. Hand out flagrants, kick people out of games, nip it in the bud.
Caitlin Clark got destroyed. Her girl Sophie came to her defense, and this was the most beast mode thing that I've seen a woman do in WNBA history. Now watch this, what they did to Caitlin Clark, and then we're going to play the clip of Sophie Cunningham. Roll the clip.
I mean, is that displacement? I think it is.
Oh, and Marina Mabry's going to get ejected. If the officials saw that, Marina Mabry is going to get ejected.
Well, they're going to go and look at it. Look at Mabry. She's got a scar on one side, scratch on one side of her face, a scratch on the other side. It's not from the game today. I asked her about it. She's always in the mix. There's a lot of contact here.
Imagine being the person who can single-handedly change an entire industry. The one who sells out stadiums, breaks viewership records, and brings millions of new eyes to a sport. Now imagine that same industry, instead of protecting you, watches silently as you're physically targeted, disrespected, and even penalized for being the victim. That's the unbelievable reality of Caitlin Clark in the WNBA until one teammate decided enough was enough. Igniting a revolution no one saw coming. For years, the WNBA has steadily built its foundation, growing viewership and passionate fans. But then Caitlin Clark arrived and everything changed. She's not just a player, she's a phenomenon. Her impact on the league is nothing short of revolutionary, shattering attendance records and drawing unprecedented attention. We're talking about a player who boosts WNBA road game attendance by a staggering 87%, accounting for over 1/3 of the entire season's total attendance. Her games alone have drawn over 200,000 fans, dwarfing non-Clark games. When the Fever visit opposing teams, they attract 36% more fans on the road than any other team. Major markets like Seattle, Los Angeles, and Washington have seen attendance increases of over 100% just because Clark was in town. She is quite literally the league's golden goose. But this golden goose has been under constant assault. What we've witnessed isn't just aggressive play, it's a disturbing pattern of targeted harassment. For anyone watching, it's felt like open season on Caitlin Clark. She's been poked in the eye, aggressively shoved to the ground, hip-checked, and subjected to flagrant fouls that, by any reasonable standard, should result in immediate ejections. Rebecca Lobo, a veteran analyst who studied WNBA rookies for 27 seasons, has emphatically stated that Clark is being played and defended differently than any other rookie in league history. This isn't just opinion, it's documented fact. The breaking point arrived during that explosive Tuesday night game against the Connecticut Sun. It was a raw, visceral demonstration of everything fans had been complaining about. We saw Clark get poked in the eye by J.C. Sheldon while she was still reeling from the injury. Marina Mabry came in and shoved her to the ground. It was blatant, aggressive, and frankly disturbing. And what happened next was beyond belief. The referees somehow managed to assess Caitlin Clark with a technical foul for unsportsmanlike conduct. Let that sink in. The victim of multiple aggressions gets penalized while her attackers face minimal consequences. It felt like the entire system had turned a blind eye, leaving Clark vulnerable. But this time, something truly different happened. This time, Caitlin Clark had an enforcer. Enter Sophie Cunningham. Known for her tenacious play and fiery spirit, Sophie had been watching this pattern repeat itself game after game. She had seen the systematic abuse, the uncalled fouls, the blatant disregard for Clark's safety. And during that Sun game, she decided enough was enough, with just 46 seconds left on the clock. As Sheldon made a steal and headed for what should have been an easy layup, Cunningham delivered a message that resonated far beyond the confines of Gainbridge Fieldhouse. She stepped in, delivering a hard foul that was clearly designed to send a message. It wasn't just about stopping a layup. It was a thunderous declaration that Caitlin Clark would not be a human punching bag any longer. It was a moment of pure, unadulterated protection. The response was immediate and explosive. What happened next was unprecedented in recent WNBA history. Within 24 hours, Sophie Cunningham's TikTok following soared from under 400,000 to over 1.2 million. Her Instagram followers surged by more than 700,000. Fans weren't just supporting her, they were celebrating her. They dubbed her the Enforcer, the Queen, and within days, her jerseys were completely sold out. This wasn't just viral fame. It was a cultural moment that revealed how desperate fans were for someone, anyone, to finally stand up for Caitlin Clark. It was the roar of a revolution. When Sophie Cunningham finally addressed the media, her words cut through the diplomatic nonsense like a knife through butter. She was clear, direct, and unapologetic. I'm going to protect my teammates. That's what I do, she declared. Her stance was not just about that one game, it was about the systematic failure of officiating that had gone on for a couple years now. She articulated the frustration that so many fans and players felt, emphasizing the need for proper officiating, for flagrant fouls to be called, for players to be ejected when they cross the line. She wasn't asking for special treatment for Clark, but for fair, consistent officiating for everyone. Cunningham's defiant stand didn't just spark social media frenzy. It ignited a broader, more serious conversation about accountability within the WNBA. Her unprecedented act led to widespread calls for officials to be held personally liable for player safety, prompting discussions around the very notion of referee negligence. This groundbreaking moment has opened the door for a serious look at whether systemic targeting, left unchecked, could indeed lead to unprecedented legal challenges. The timing couldn't be more potent, especially given the league's recent integrity crisis, where 3 referees were fired following a bribery investigation, proving that officiating problems run deeper than simple incompetence. The evidence of systematic targeting is overwhelming and undeniable. Rebecca Lobo, who has done extensive research watching tape of WNBA rookies for the past 27 seasons, is adamant. Caitlin Clark is being played differently, defended differently than any other rookie who's ever stepped onto a WNBA court. This isn't conjecture or opinion. This is documented fact from someone who has studied every rookie class in league history. The pattern is clear and disturbing. Clark has been poked in the eye, shoved to the ground, hip-checked, and subjected to flagrant fouls that would result in ejections for any other player. Yet, somehow, she's often the one who receives technical fouls for reacting to being assaulted. The WNBA's response to this crisis has been, frankly, disgraceful. Instead of addressing the systematic targeting of their biggest star, they've chosen to fine Sophie Cunningham for finally standing up to the bullies. The league imposed an additional fine on Cunningham beyond the standard penalty for a flagrant foul, essentially punishing her for doing what their referees refused to do: protect Caitlin Clark. While the league itself later admitted that referees lost control of the Connecticut Sun game, a damning indictment of their officiating standards, no meaningful changes have been implemented to protect Clark or hold officials accountable. Commissioner Engelbert's rhetoric about upholding the highest standards rings hollow given her clear inaction, highlighting a stark disconnect between the league's words and its deeds. Let's talk about the sheer stupidity of the WNBA's Approach from a business perspective. Caitlin Clark has generated more interest, attendance, and revenue for women's basketball than any player in the sport's history. When you have a player who can single-handedly transform your league's fortunes, you don't allow her to be abused by jealous competitors and incompetent officials. You protect her, promote her, and build your entire organization around her success. Anything less is a catastrophic business blunder. It's like owning the goose that lays golden eggs and then allowing it to be strangled. The groundswell of support for Sophie Cunningham's action has revealed just how deep the frustration runs among WNBA fans. Petition campaigns demanding referee accountability have gained hundreds of thousands of signatures, with fans no longer willing to accept the status quo. The message is clear. Either the WNBA fixes its referee problem, or fans will continue to demand more drastic action. What's particularly striking is how fans have embraced Cunningham as a hero, while simultaneously losing faith in the league itself. When respected voices in sports media are calling for this level of accountability, it's clear the situation has reached a breaking point. The WNBA can no longer dismiss these concerns as mere fan overreaction or media sensationalism. The growing frustration has even led to a radical idea. What if Caitlin Clark, the undisputed draw for women's basketball, didn't need the WNBA at all? This isn't just idle talk. It's born from the desperate sentiment that the league isn't protecting its most valuable asset. The audience, they say, would follow Caitlin Clark wherever she goes, to different cities, different venues, different television networks. While the WNBA continues to allow its star player to be targeted and abused, other organizations could easily position themselves to offer her the protection and respect she deserves. It's a sobering thought, but one that highlights how precarious the WNBA's position truly is if they continue down this path. And it's not just the fans. The players themselves are keenly aware of the league's shortcomings and the value they bring. As Sophie Cunningham articulated, the players have been grinding to grow the game, and they deserve a fair share of the business they've built. The current system, especially regarding officiating consistency and player safety, it's simply unsustainable. Players are speaking out. Coaches are privately admitting that officiating needs to get better and be more consistent. This isn't just about Caitlin Clark. It's about the integrity of the game and the future of the league. The clock is ticking. We're heading into All-Star break, and the WNBA has a crucial decision to make. They can continue to find players who protect their teammates while ignoring the systematic targeting of their biggest star. Or they can finally implement the changes that everyone knows are necessary. The choice is theirs, but the consequences of inaction are becoming clearer every single day. The league needs Clark far more than she needs them. And that dynamic is becoming painfully obvious. The WNBA now stands at a crossroads. The choice: is Stark continued down this path, penalizing heroes and ignoring systemic issues, or finally listen to the undeniable roar of the fans and players like Sophie Cunningham? Protect your golden goose, invest in your future, and uphold the integrity of the game. Because if they don't, the revolution that Sophie Cunningham ignited might just decide to build its own kingdom elsewhere. What do you think needs to happen to fix this? Let me know in the comments below. And if this story resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the untold narratives that shape our world.